Oh, baby. Good morning.
I got a call at the break.
From who?
Charmin. It's my new sponsor.
Oh, yeah, you are soft this morning. You're very soft.
Shout out David A. on YouTube.
Yeah, you're very soft. We're not going to get there, though, because if I say it, they're going to tell me to lay off you. I was told by Giants fan for life. Shout out to Giants for life.
Lay off.
He's going through a tough time right now with this offseason. But he said, you're like Steiny, just ridiculing your counterpart. No, Steiny doesn't do that to Guru.
I'm a man of nuance.
I don't do that to you.
No.
I was just asking you questions like, why are you nervous?
If you aren't giving me a hard time, our relationship's over.
I don't give you a hard
Yeah,
time.
I mean, like I already know where we stand in this relationship. You're the king, I'm the squire. No, you saw everything. You knew the second Kurt Warner tied his shoes in that first ever game, he was going to be a Hall of Famer.
No, I didn't, actually.
And I'm the idiot trying to run Klay Thompson out of town.
Well, you did run Klay Thompson out of town. You did do that.
Does anyone really have a choice?
No, we don't.
No, you had a choice.
Speaking of which,
you had a choice.
Michelle's at home right now with the heater cranked to the fullest, and I had to turn it off remotely because this heater bill, this heater bill is getting a little too ridiculous.
I'm not even going to go there about how hot it was in my house this morning. I woke up and I had no blankets. That's how hot I was with the headache. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Super dehydrated.
Sweating bullets.
No, imagine your fake tree and how dried out that was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, boy. Artificial, though. That's the way to go. Don't be spending money on Douglas fir anymore. Let's get down to Phoenix, Arizona. John Gambadoro, he joined us before the Mexico City game. He does everything down in Phoenix. He's prime time. He covers the Cards, the Suns. Hell, you may start covering the Arizona Wildcats basketball team, who's top 5 right now, because we know the Cardinals are basically cooked, and the Diamondbacks, who knows what's going to happen there. John, good morning, man. Welcome back to the Roast. Long time no talk.
Man, Banter, that's my favorite team. I love that Wildcat basketball team. They had a tough one last night against Washington. They pulled it out late, but I mean, they're loaded with Tabellis and Krisa. Like, it's Mbalo. They lost 3 kids to the NBA draft last year. A couple first rounders, and they're still one of the top teams in the country.
No, they beat some good teams this year. Indiana, I saw them beat Indiana. Blew out Indiana. Yeah, no, they beat someone. Yeah, Creighton. You mentioned Creighton.
John, you're anchoring our ratings right now. Talking Pac-12 basketball.
No. I started it. It's better than talking Arizona Cardinals football. But listen, my guys.
All our teams suck. I mean, have you seen the state of Arizona sports? Even our Phoenix Suns basketball team, we're one game away from being a 500 team.
Guess what? I don't know what happened there
years ago.
But John, you're going to get like 77 games out of Evan Longoria this year. So good for you.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I reported the other day that they made a substantial offer to Dansby Swanson to bring him back. Remember, he was their number 1 overall pick, and they traded him for Shelby Miller.
Shelby Miller. Good old Dave Stewart at the helm.
Man. John Gambadoro, talk show host on Arizona Sports 98.7 FM in Phoenix, as we talk a little Arizona Cardinals. So, look, the Niners are looking for the number 2 seed. Brock Purdy's been taking the league by storm, obviously. Deebo Samuel may be back. Nick Bosa's having a DPOY type of season. Arizona, we know David Blau is now going to play quarterback after Trace McSorley and Kyler Miller, of course, with the ACL injury, and Colt McCoy is out. So what's the state of the Cardinals? Are they going to move on from Cliff Kingsbury? Are they going to move on from Steve Keim as GM? What the hell is going on there?
We expect massive changes after this season. It was a disaster on the field. It was a disaster off the field, especially with what happened in Mexico City, with their offensive line coach. So it's been a bad year. 2 of their coaches had to depart, and all the injuries that they've had on the field, off the field. Look, they just gave, after the playoff game last year against the Rams when he got slaughtered, they gave the extensions to Cliff and to Steve, 5-year extensions. But this is not cap money. We always say it's Michael money. It's Michael Bidwell money. And I expect that they will move on from both of those guys. I figure they're paying the GM about $5 million and the coach about $7.5 million. So you figure they're going to eat about $50 million to walk away from those 2 guys and make changes.
That's good money. Wow. I mean, is there anything for them to fight for here? Because I remember when the Niners canned a coach and they gave Tom Sula, an opportunity to win useless games down the stretch that only ruined their draft status. Do they even want to win this game?
The players do. I mean, you go to David Blau. He played really hard last week. The players, they don't care about draft picks. I mean,
right.
We're looking at it like this on our show. Keep that top 4 pick. Stay ahead of Indianapolis, who's going to want a quarterback, and put yourself in a position where everybody's got to jump Indianapolis, and they make you a great offer to come up and move up to number 4. So, if C.J. Stroud is on the board at 4. Say Young goes, first, and C.J. Stroud's on the board at 4 after the 2 defensive studs go 2-3. If you're at 4, you're in a perfect spot for everybody to come up and give you a king's ransom to go get C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. So the Cardinals need to lose this game, guys. They have to lose this game. Nobody here wants them to win the football game. The players, they're going to go out and they're going to try to win because, J.J. Watt final game and David Blau with an opportunity, and the coach does. The players and the coaches are going to want to win. They're just not talented enough to win.
So I want to make sure we get this straight here because I'm seeing what happened last year when you had a backup come in. That was one of the low moments in the 49ers season. Colt McCoy looking like Joe Montana, dismantling the Niners. Then this year, they're better with Colt McCoy and the bottom's fallen out. Now that you see what Shanahan's done up north with 3 different quarterbacks, is everybody calling for Kingsbury's head regarding the quarterback thing alone?
Kyler Murray got a massive contract extension after last year. They didn't have to give it to him, but, and I had spoken with his agent. He wasn't going to play for $5 million this year, so you would have had a hold-in. He would, not a holdout, a hold-in. He was not going to play for $5 million and risk, because, here's what happens. You get an injury like this, and, you made $5 million, and then, next year you make like 30. But now he's got that, that massive, contract, one of the highest in the NFL. And he regressed. Guys, he got worse. He was so bad. We talk about this on our show all the time. When was the last time Kyler Murray had a great game? I don't know, like 2 years ago? He's not a top 10 quarterback in this league. He's a middle-of-the-pack quarterback. And now coming off of this injury next year, he's probably going to miss 4 to 6 games, maybe more. Is he going to have that explosiveness in his leg after an ACL injury? We just don't know, but he regressed tremendously.
I agree. John Gambadoro, 98.7 down in Phoenix, Arizona, 98.7 FM, does a great job covering everything in Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins, I heard rumors early in the season that the Cardinals could look to move him in the offseason. Why? I have no idea, but what's the latest with him? Because he doesn't seem like he's too thrilled with what's going on in Arizona.
No, he's not. He's not. I'm expecting that they trade him or he asks for a trade. I think he's going to want to get out of here. They're not going to have Kyler Murray for the start of the season next year. They're going to rebuild. They're going to start over, very likely. They have to. I mean, all their offensive linemen are free agent except for like one. They're not very good on the offensive or defensive line, guys. They're just not. They're very weak on both sides of the line. So I expect that they move on from Hopkins. See, they were in a similar situation many, many years ago with Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden. You couldn't pay both guys. They kept Fitz, and they let Anquan Bolden walk. You've got Hollywood Brown, who you just traded a first-round draft pick for. Yeah. You're going to have to re-sign him. He's only got a year left. You can't pay Hopkins and pay Hollywood Brown. So they've got – I would assume if they could get a second-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, they should jump at that.
I mean, Hollywood. I told this guy on the draft day that was a terrible trade.
Well, I like Hollywood if Hopkins
your fourth
played.
Receiver.
As second or third.
I can hand him this piece of paper. He's going to drop it. All right, Gambo. The kid Brock Purdy. My cousin lives down in that area, and he's like, dude, I've been hearing about this kid for a long, long time. Have you heard of Brock Purdy before this season because of his impact in the state of Arizona?
Yeah, we knew who he was. I don't cover a lot of high school sports, but we know the kid. I think he's from the QC, the Queen Creek area. But we absolutely, we knew who he was, and then obviously where he was drafted and everything. It's Mr. Irrelevant, I believe, and there's a lot of talented kids that come out of Arizona in high school football that go on to do some really big things. So, we knew the kid. He went to Perry High School in Gilbert. He's from the QC, where I think a lot of people are, they're not shocked that he's playing well. They're happy for him, but we didn't know where his career was going to go after his time at Iowa State.
Last one for you here, John. John Gambadoro here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. From afar, how far do you think the Niners can get with Brock Purdy at quarterback and his defense that, let's face it, they got lit up last week in Las Vegas?
I think they can get to the Super Bowl. I think that they've got the team to do it. Everybody says he's going to have to win one game for them in the playoffs, and maybe he will, but I think he's very capable of it. Look, they've got a great defense. They've got a great running game. Is Debo back this week?
He may be back.
Know.
My partner over here wants to bubble wrap everybody.
Yeah,
I want him to play to lock up the number 2 seed. This guy wants to go on the road in the second round of the playoffs for some reason.
I want to travel.
Here's the thing. Who's going to beat them?
You
want to say Philly? Philly's going to beat them? I mean, Philly's not playing very well right now. They'll get their quarterback back, but they're not playing. I think San Francisco, this is my opinion, I think they're the team to beat in the NFC.
Thank you. I totally agree with you.
But he's afraid of the Packers over here.
No, I'm saying you want to avoid Aaron Rodgers right now.
Packers?
No,
Why?
not really.
Won
Not
4
really.
games in a row?
It's half shtick. Gambo. Is Harbaugh even an option as head coach for you guys moving forward? Because we've always got our eye on Harbaugh at all times around here. Even though we love Kyle Shanahan, it's not that we want him back. I would just be interested if he would go coach that team.
No, I think everybody's looking at Sean Payton, but here's the problem.
Sean Payton?
Yeah, Sean Payton. That's, but you'd have to give up full control to him. All the talk here is if they can get Sean Payton, go get Sean Payton.
Really?
But the problem is you're going to have to give up probably a first round pick, and I don't want to give up this year's first round pick for Sean Payton, not a top 4 pick.
No, that's interesting. All right, well, it's just a tough coach division. McVay, although he's always flirting with television, Shanahan and Pete Carroll, whoever that fourth coach is, it's a tough division.
I know we
got the best one. You guys have the best one. It's not even close.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree there right now. Although McVay does have the Super Bowl, Shanahan better win it. Shanahan better win it.
The pivot.
Shanahan better win it. McVay's got one. The last, I know we're going to get you out of here, John. So, do you fully expect Kingsbury to be out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, the only person that knows this right now is Michael Bidwell, but I expect we're expecting out on Monday there'll be a press conference and fire a coach with 4 years left on his. Remember, they fired Steve Wilkes after 1 year to pay him. Yep. So they are accustomed to paying coaches, several years of their contract after they fire him. They did it with Wilkes, who's now in Carolina, and it's just good. They have to start over. It's been a disaster. The only thing you could do to salvage Kingsbury is say we're going to keep him and we're going to change like 4 guys on the coaching staff.
Right.
Yeah, good luck
Maybe you do that, but I don't know if the fans are going to buy it. The fans are miserable here because they don't even win at home, guys. They don't win any home games.
Yeah, no, I know.
Gambo, get ready for us. We're going to be there in a month. Super Bowl, Operation Glendale. I'll be down there. Are you going to break bread with us and roll out the red carpet or what?
I'll do it because I do think you guys are going to be there.
Let's go.
John Gambadoro. We love him.
Golf, Gambo.
We love him. We'll do it again, John. Good stuff, man. Happy New Year. John Gambadoro, 98.7 FM in Phoenix, covering the Arizona Cardinals.